The Oregon Ducks just got a double dose of good news. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul, and together with my buddy Aaron, we are the Big Ten guys. Tune in daily for news, insights, analysis. If you're a fan of Big Ten football, this is the channel for you. So don't miss out. Take just a quick second, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, get alerts on. We got a ton more Oregon and Big Ten content coming. So big news coming out of Oregon football. We're about, I think, less than 2 weeks now till the regular season. I know we are all hyped, but one of the big questions that still remains for Oregon is who's going to be the quarterback. And I think everybody's assuming it's been going to be Dante Moore. Dan Lanning has been a little more, I don't know what the word here is, but he's not willing to name the starter. He even has recently been commenting on how well some of the other guys have been playing at QB. But taking a look here at Big Ten analyst Yogi Roth went and viewed an Oregon practice, and he said he was blown away by Dante Moore. I think this is big time news because, this isn't an Oregon Ducks analyst. He's not this isn't some fanboy who's just oh, this is the best player in the world. He's unbiased. He's all things Big Ten, and he used to be USC's quarterbacks coach way back in the day, and so he knows how to play the quarterback position. He knows ball, and he was blown away by Dante Moore. Said he's throwing a really catchable ball, making smart decisions, really good accuracy, and that's exactly what you want to hear if you're a Ducks fan. And then I think the other big question, and this will be our second dose of good news, is how is Oregon going to replace all the people that went to the NFL last year? Obviously, Oregon, defending Big Ten champs, made a little run in the playoffs, but I think they lost their first game because they had the bye week. But how are they going to replace all this talent that went to the NFL, specifically on the offensive line, where 4 of their 5 starters this year are going to be new starters? And looking at Alik Terry, the offensive line coach for the Ducks, he addressed their cohesiveness, and he has been super impressed. He talked about how big it's been that all these guys transferred early, some of them were already on the team, but the ones who transferred in came in early, and they've been together all spring, and they've been together for 6 full months now and have really formed into a cohesive unit. And that is big time, because a lot of times you get in all these transfers or you have new starters, and it's all 4 and 5 stars. That's pretty much all you roll out at Oregon. But they don't mesh well together. There's so much communication, both verbal and nonverbal, that goes on the O-line. You need to know that the guy next to you has your back, that you both know your assignments, you both know the guy you're going to get. And if you don't have that cohesiveness, it doesn't matter how talented you are, the O-line is going to struggle. So to hear that they're already working together and have built that cohesion is big time for the Ducks. And truthfully, if you really break down this O-line, I honestly think, even though 4 of 5 of them are new starters, I think it might be the best offensive line in the Big Ten. Obviously, it starts at center with your guy Poncho. He was listed as on the watch list for the Remington Award. He's the one returning starter, and the NCAA believes he might be the best center in the country. That's what the Remington Award is. They're watching him. Elsewhere on the offensive line, they brought in Isaiah World, who is just a 6'8" mountain of a human being. And if you look over here, he was the number 2 transfer recruit in the entire country. Out of Nevada, I believe. Yep, came from Nevada. And just 6'8", absolute monster. And he's going to be the one protecting Dante Moore at that super important tackle spot. And then moving on, it sounds like Matthew Bedford is starting to look like he's going to be a bright spot for Oregon football. And then you also have Alex Harkey. He transferred in from Texas State. He as well was a pretty high-end transfer. And then Emmanuel Pregnon is the last transfer they brought in. I believe he was out of USC. And he as well, just super highly rated transfer. Dan Lanning hit the portal hard this year, and he hit it specifically in the trenches. It's taken some of these other Big Ten schools years and years and years to figure out you win the Big Ten when you win in the trenches. Dan Lanning knew that last year, and I think a lot of people were wondering, okay, 4 out of your 5 guys went to the NFL. What are you going to, I don't think they all went to the NFL, but they're gone. Are you going to be able to do it again? And he hit the portal hard, and they're ready to be, in my opinion, the best unit in the Big Ten. And I think what's crazy about them, too, is, like, they're not starting a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. Like, these are all, like, some of these guys, like, I think Bedford, he transferred to Oregon a few years ago and has struggled a little bit with his health, but he's finally fully healthy. I believe he's a 5th-year senior. And same with, like, Pregnon and World and Harkey. Like, these are all 4th or 5th-year seniors who have played at high-level college football. And like I said earlier, they have that cohesion together. They've been working together for 6 months. And I think this is going to be an elite offensive line. Oregon fans, let me hear from you. Who was your favorite transfer they brought in? Was it one of these tackles? Or maybe it was somebody else? I know everyone's been going a little crazy over the running back you brought in, who a lot of people see him potentially being like a Maxwell Award winner. But then looking at the schedule they have this year, it's a super winnable schedule. Like, the only 2 ranked opponents on their schedule right now are at Penn State. That's going to pretty much be the entire regular season right there for Oregon. And then home Indiana. I think Indiana is going to be better than people expect. I think they'll be pushing more top 10 by the time they play this game. But Oregon right now is a 13.5 point favorite in that game. So Vegas not giving a lot of love to the Hoosiers. Penn State, let me tell you this as a Michigan fan. Those away game whiteout night games at Happy Valley are brutal. But one of the ways that you can pull them out is with smart quarterback play, like Dante Moore has been showing, and with elite offensive line play. Like, you can't turn it over and let that place get rocking. And if you can just, like, take the air out of the football and run it and run it and run it down their throat with the elite offensive line that Oregon has, that's how you win that football game. I think 2 years ago when Michigan won the Natty, they ran the ball 32 times in a row at Happy Valley and won that game. And like, when you can just wear a team out like that, which I think this Oregon team is going to be able to do, it's just really tough to stop. And if there's one weakness on Penn State, in my opinion, it's probably the defensive line. And like, their defensive line's solid. I'm not here to knock on their D-line, but that's such a deep team everywhere. And if there's one way I think you're going to be able to potentially beat them this year, it's grounding and pounding them. And I think Oregon's going to be really good at that. And then looking at the rest of their schedule, at Iowa, they got those pink locker rooms. That's always a tough place to play. I could see that being similar to the Wisconsin game you guys had last year, Oregon, where you were, I think maybe you pulled it out like 16-13 or something like that. But like, you were losing deep into that game at Wisconsin, where it's like, it's a solid team. It's a tough place to play. It's on the road. You're maybe sleeping on it a little bit. I don't think that's a gimme by any means. But other than the 3, like, maybe at Washington will be tough if Damon Williams takes the next step at quarterback this year. But I don't see any reason why. Like, a lot of people are expecting regression from Oregon this year. I don't see it. This is an 11-1 team at worst, in my opinion. I'd be stunned to see them worse at 11-1. I think they're capable of winning at Penn State. I know Penn State's a 6.5-point favorite in the game. Tough place to play, but if you can run the football and own the line of scrimmage, who knows? I think Oregon's capable of pulling that one out as well. So they should be in the Big Ten Championship again, for sure, should be in the playoffs again. And I think it's going to be a fun season. So Oregon fans, hit me up in the comments. Who are you excited for this year? Give me your record predictions. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Got a lot more Oregon and Big Ten content coming.